in America needed a T-shirt to show how valuable their lives were. They have every institution in America, from policing to education to banking. They don't need a T-shirt. Black people get T-shirts. Breonna Taylor got a T-shirt. Amber got an alert. And of course, Kanye West is a marketing genius. But how hard is it to profit off black people's pain? It's always amazing to me that free thinkers always use their words to diminish the pain and suffering of the many people who are not free. I find that interesting. And, you know, he did have a point when he talked about how there was malfeasance in the Black Lives Matter movement. But I just find it interesting that he didn't also point out how much malfeasance there are in the man in MAGA that he supports. That he's under indictment, or excuse me, in a lawsuit right now by New York and several other states for being a fraud, being involved in fraud and other bits of malfeasance. But it's interesting. I think that there's a cottage industry in capitalizing off the pain and suffering of black people. There's a cottage industry in it. So he's a genius. The more disrespectful he gets to black people and their memories, the richer he get. I mean, there's a cottage industry on capitalizing on black people's suffering. I don't care if it's baby powder or menthol cigarettes or Cisco. You can put Yeezys in there. They know that if you're disrespectful and you can profit off black people's pain and naivety, you're gonna do okay. But I was struck by something Ahmaud Arbery's mother said, and she talked about how dangerous it was to have this idea fomented, this White Lives Matter idea fomented, and who would know that more? I remember when Ahmaud Arbery, we first became aware of him, Candace Owens so callously said, "Oh well, let's dispense with the notion that he was just a jogger, that he was breaking into people's houses," and that became the mantra that a lot of people on the right use. As a matter of fact, for months and months and months, and through many incarnations of district attorneys, no charges were brought. And although there is no doubt that there had been some corruption involved in Black Lives Matter, I think they were pivotal in getting Miss Ahmaud Arbery justice, the mother of Ahmaud Arbery justice. But Candace Owens' words were used. White people parroted them around all over the right and talked about how he was a criminal. And she edified that position and expounded it. And the only reason we found out anything different was the fact that the lawyers, the people who defended the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery, sent the videotape to a friendly affiliate, a radio affiliate. We saw the videotape. Black Lives Matter and other voices rose up, and now we have a conviction. So whereas Candace Owens said that it was Ahmaud Arbery who was a thief and he was breaking in homes, all of the people involved in that were convicted in the South. As a matter of fact, they were using, to avoid conviction, they were using a law from the 1860s, ironically enough, people who didn't have a voice, who weren't free at that time. They used those very words, that very law, to try to mitigate the damage they'd done, to make it illegal for them to murder the people they had. We know that White Lives Matter. It's obvious. It's obvious in every aspect of our lives. I think it is certainly gaslighting to mention it all the time. But I'm asking this seriously. Do white people really need a T-shirt? And does Kanye West, obviously he thinks they matter. They're in his bedroom and his boardroom, as she does too. They're in her bedroom and boardroom. So we know that they matter. We know that America knows that they matter. And we know that America, that some of the people involved in BLM were involved in malfeasance, did things that were inappropriate. That does not negate the effectiveness they had in a lot of circumstances. You cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I'm interested because Kanye West says that white lives matter. I find it funny that he says white lives matter, but he didn't think so when he was threatening to kill Pete Davidson. They didn't matter as much then. So I guess he should change his T-shirts to, I guess not all white lives matter, especially the ones who are dating my ex-wife.
So D.L. Hughley, he was talking about Kanye West wearing the White Lives Matter shirt in his latest podcast, and he brought up several good points. One of them, he was talking about white lives has always mattered. This whole country has been built, all these industries, billion-dollar industries, is 99% white people. So their lives has always mattered. So for him to wear this T-shirt in Paris was only to sell shit. And then he was talking about Pete Davidson, and he was like, Oh, so everybody white lives matter except for the white dude that was effing your ex-wife. So you should say all lives matter but that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a hypocrite. 1 minute, F white lives when it got something to do with your baby mama and her family. You worrying about a black man. I need y'all to worry about my kids. I need to see my kids. I'm a black man in America. Okay, now you want all the black people to be like, oh yeah, Kanye West, you need to see your kids. Yeah, Kanye West, speak up. But then, oh, white lives matter. Black lives matter is a scam. Or when he was talking about the Make America Great Again, talking about, I take the power away from the head. I turn it into something else. I'm a free thinker. You could be a free thinker and make some sense while you're thinking at the same time. So, you know what I'm saying? D.L. Hughley and Kanye West is going back and forth earlier this year. So, D.L. Hughley, he is definitely not surprised about Kanye West's antics. But, hey, if this what he got to do to sell something, I feel like we just got to ignore him at this point because this is what Kanye West does. It's just that his name is so big globally that we forced to pay attention to him because he's Kanye West. But at the end of the day, he's just another name, another big name, but just another name that we choose to follow. That's it. If we stop giving him light, if the blog stopped giving him attention, he would stop doing all this extra shit and just selling his clothes. But because he knows the headlines is going to repost and everybody going to come out and talk about it and give it more attention, he knows the value of his mouth. He's like the second or third most famous rapper in the world. He knows the power of words. If he say jump, everybody gonna say how high. And the people that's writing his checks know this as well. So they gonna applaud him for doing this. They gonna give him a pat on the back, tell him to do it again because they know the controversy that he brings. And it's Kanye West. People love his Yeezy clothes, bro. Like they will spend their last dollar on Yeezys. It don't matter if it's a White Lives Matter on the back or not. And from my knowledge, the shirts are not for sale for right now at least. He might put them on the market. I'm pretty sure there's millions of people that's looking to buy that shirt. And just like D.L. Hughley said, white lives has been mattered. Don't try to use something that the black person been fighting for, dying for, to use it to sell some damn Yeezys. That's it, man. What y'all think about this, your boy B? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.